Hey everybody, my name's Seth, and today I'm going to be talking about Leo in the 4th house, and why having Leo in your 4th house is actually more difficult than you would think. With Leo sitting in your 4th house, this shows that your emotional environment growing up was actually pretty dramatic. This means that your mom was most likely a very loving and attention-giving person. But if this love and attention was actually directed towards you, is another story. It could be very easily mean that it was directed towards herself. It could very easily mean it was directed towards your siblings and not you. The whole idea of your 4th house is what you want to build for yourself within your own home. What influences that? And to have Leo in your 4th house means that you want to create a place for people to have fun. You want to create a place where you can be in the spotlight. You want to create a place for you to be able to act like a Leo and have your Savannah to roam. That's where you feel comfortable. That's the type of environment you want to create for yourself when you are an adult and you have your own home and your own space. That's what makes you feel comfortable anywhere. That whole Leo energy. What triggered you to actually feel comfortable with that? What triggered you to want to be in the spotlight? Does not mean that you were always in it growing up. That could create the idea of you wanting to be in the spotlight. The fact that your mom was so doting on you, the fact that you were always in the spotlight growing up, that is the easiest way to want to always be in the spotlight as an adult. To want that, to feel comfortable with that as an adult when you have your own space. Another way that this could happen is that your mom is actually pretty selfish. You had to compete with her, or that you had to compete with siblings to get attention. That would also push the idea of being in the spotlight to the front of your mind and making you comfortable in the spotlight because you always had to fight for it. And now that you are an adult, you don't want to feel like you need to fight for it. You want to come home and have it. This could also mean that things were not so emotional as much as they were crazy at home. Leo isn't the deepest energy, really. So when you see your emotional upbringing when you have Leo in the 4th house, this does not mean that you were emotionally taken care of. This means that your emotional outburst may have been the only way that you were seen and heard. This means that your parents or the people, or your siblings, or the people around you, their emotional outburst taught you that that's the only way to be seen and heard. And that's why you're so comfortable, because you were either always surrounded by it, or that's just always how you got recognized and got what you needed from your emotional environment. Now, when we look at the 10th house and what this upbringing and what growing up with this placement has done to you, it creates a very expressive approach to life. As a kid, when you started to get into the outside world, when you start to do job interviews as you're getting older, when you move out and all these other sorts of things, you are constantly taught the lesson that people are not nice. That you cannot just win people over with a smile by being funny, by being this, by being that. You have to do a little bit more. You have to kind of back that shit up. That's what the Aquarius on your midheaven is teaching you. That when you get into the outside world, it's more than just a song and dance or screaming about what you want or making it clear how you feel. It's about actually and intellectually communicating how you feel. It's about making a connection with someone and not immediately being their best friend, because you might get yourself into trouble trying to make everybody your best friend. Not everybody wants to be your best friend. Not everybody is a good best friend. It is time for you to charm them, get them to like you, get them to understand you and do favors for you without emotionally getting invested. To stop emotionally getting invested with everyone. That's a lesson that you're going to have to learn. And you're going to learn it early, and you're going to learn it quickly. And then it's going to become a part of how you succeed in the outside world. And then as you get more and more successful, as you become the person that you are, people are just going to assume from afar that you do not get emotionally invested in people. That's that Aquarian energy that's going to be radiating off of your persona. But for you personally, where it comes from is the fact that you learned it is not a good idea to just get emotionally invested with everyone. But everybody else just thinks that's how you are. But really, if you had it your way in a perfect world, you would be emotionally invested with everyone. They would all be at your parties. You would all be having fun. And you could really soak up the spotlight as you like. Also, when it comes to the idea of backing your shit up, the idea of learning more to be able to express more and get people to take you more seriously, that's going to come from the fact that you've learned that people do not take you seriously. The more that you are emotional than you are intellectual. When you're coming at them with your feelings instead of facts, you've learned that that doesn't necessarily work. That people discredit you, they discredit your opinion, and they discredit what you're trying to say, what you're trying to do, because they're not seeing any facts. They're not seeing you taking anything seriously. They see you upset, or they see you being expressive about something instead of calm, cool, collected, and in control. So that is something you had to learn. That does not necessarily mean it's something you enjoy. It doesn't mean that it's something that really is what you're about. But it's something you've had to learn. It's become a part of what you do to succeed. Hopefully you've learned that that's what you need to do to succeed. Calm down and become a little more intellectual and think and read and understand what you're talking about before you talk about it. People are just going to assume that you're just smart. That you just come into a situation and that's just what I do. Like, I'm just a smart person. I just have all these answers. I'm just so ready to intellectually challenge you and be passionate about what I'm thinking without being out of control. They just assume you are this person. It radiates off of your persona. But you know that took work. That you had to understand what that means. You had to understand what to do and what not to do. And that it took development to get that 10th house working correctly and to create what you needed to create to be able to succeed into the outside world. And once people get to know you, once people become close friends, once people really get closer to your heart, they'll understand that Leo energy. They'll understand your past. They'll understand your emotional upbringing. And they'll understand why you do the things you do, why you say the things you say, why you approach your life and your career the way that you approach it. Why do you need to succeed? And how do you go about it? So, hopefully that made sense. That is the Leo 4th house and Aquarius midheaven. So thanks for watching, you guys. Follow me on Twitter, like my page on Facebook. Leave a comment below. Talk to me. I'll talk to you back. And tell me what you guys want for the next series, because I kind of feel like I'm gonna blow through these pretty quickly, and I'm already thinking ahead about what series I want to do next. So let me know what you guys want, and I'll also put posts up for you guys to let me know on Facebook and Twitter what you guys want. So subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.